Hello everybody, welcome to yet another video on the channel. I know I'm late to this, I know I'm late to the whole thing, and I know a lot of people edit down their videos. I'm not going to be doing that today. I'm going to be reacting to this guy and his exploration problems in Minecraft. I've already watched a video about it, but I wanted to give my own opinion about it. That isn't just like completely shitting on everything that this dude has to say, because there's some things I agree with, some things I disagree with. And I do want to mention that I come from the background of someone that is not a builder or a redstoner in survival Minecraft, which I think this video is more so talking about survival Minecraft. When it comes to creative mode, I like to build. I'm still not really a redstoner. I really don't care about redstone. However, I will advocate for people that do build in survival and do redstone in survival. So I will be saying things like, well, I don't do this, but other people do, and I think that is good enough for something. But there's going to be some hot takes in this video from me, and definitely this guy. And also, before we start, I want to mention that I already know this dude is selling a mod, or is trying to. I know it's against the Minecraft EULA. I wouldn't really say that it's a crime. I know some people have gone as far to say that. I don't believe it is. I think it's just against the EULA, in which, let this man get his Minecraft account taken away. I don't care. Let's get into the video now.
The year was 2016. Donald Trump was just elected to office. Harambe had been shot to death. But most importantly, a new Minecraft update was on the horizon. 1.11, the exploration update. With Minecraft at the lowest it's ever been, this update had the potential to turn things around in an instant. And the only thing they decided to add was woodland mansions.
This isn't true. 1.11, I like to count the entire update as like what it added in entirety. From 1.11 to, like, let's say 1.11.2. I think that was the last update for 1.11. It added at least iron nuggets. I remember when iron nuggets were added, and I was like, why would they do this? And now I'm like, I don't care. They added at least iron nuggets. Like, I know they added more than woodland mansions and iron nuggets. I just can't put them on the top of my head. But I know this isn't true. They definitely added more. Here, I'll do some fucking research. What was added in Minecraft 1.11? They added illagers, vindicators and evokers, vexes, totems of undying, exploration maps, observers, shulker boxes, woodland mansions, and llamas. So yeah, they added quite a bit in this update, not just woodland mansions. I know he's probably talking about like the point of exploration, since that's the context of the video. However, even in terms of that, there's still exploration maps. So there you go. You know, llamas are in, I believe, only one biome, and or they can only spawn with wandering traders. And then shulker boxes were huge. And that gave you another reason to go to the end, because these are just helpful. So yeah. I don't know if I can really say yup, but also I know iron nuggets should be in this list because it was technically added in 1.11. But it was 1.11.2. I don't care.
That's it. Woodland mansions are easily the worst structure in the entire game. And for
That's just not true. Jungle temples exist. Desert wells exist. I bet there's like a structure I'm forgetting.
Main reasons. One, they're extremely hard to get to. To find one, you have to go to a village, level up different cartographers until one sells you a woodland.
You really don't need to do all of this. You know what you can do? Find a dark oak biome and then look around. And if you don't get one, sucks to suck.
format. Buy it, travel thousands of blocks until you get to the right location, and then you can go inside the mansion. 2, they're extremely challenging to traverse. Mansions are a labyrinth of rooms.
I don't find them that hard. I'm gonna be honest. I don't find them that hard to traverse. I think if you find it hard, I think you just have a skill issue.
Tunnels, and secret passageways. You can't just go inside and loot the place. You have to burn the entire thing down just to get to any of the chests. And
that's not true. You do not have to burn it down to get to any of the chests. You can loot it like a normal person, and it's not even that hard. If you can't find anything, you just have a skill issue. I'm sorry.
Speaking of chests, there's issue number 3. They have nothing in them. Mansions have no...
Okay, I kind of agree with this. I think the Woodland Mansion loot tables are pretty bad. Let me look at it. Woodland Mansion loot. Oh, wait. Wrong one. My bad. I think it's this one that's the good one. I don't know. I don't remember. Flower room. Okay, it gives you, like, even the flowers, bro. 15 ladders, 18 rails. Like, no one cares about this. Chest, illager. Chest. Or illager, yeah. There's carpet. NA! There's just nothing in X room that sucks. Like, yeah, there's some stuff. Okay, a block of diamond isn't that bad. Although that's, like, not a chest. And we're really looking at, like, chest stuff. Which... all empty chests. Yeah. I don't know. A Woodland Mansion has a... What? If a Woodland Mansion has... room has a chest in it, it has a chance to contain some of the following items. So beetroot seeds, bone, bread, bucket. Bread's actually decent. Chainmail chestplate, that's okay. Diamond chestplate, that's pretty okay. Diamond hoe, that's okay. Enchanted book doesn't label what enchantments, but that's better than nothing. Enchanted golden apples, those are actually okay. Golden ingots, those are pretty good, actually, for piglin trading. So I don't know if I fully agree with they have nothing in it, because they have some things that are actually useful. Like golden apples, iron. Iron's useful. Music discs I get not a lot of people would care about. Redstone dust, I'm not a redstoner, so I don't really care about that shit. But I do see chainmail chestplate, diamond chestplate, diamond hoe, not really. But for the funny, yeah. Enchanted books, enchanted golden apples, gold ingot, golden apple, iron. I see those as useful. I think those are okay loot. Yes, it's surrounded by a bunch of garbage. I mean, coal. Free coal, I guess, but yeah, I can see where it's surrounded by a bunch of garbage.
No good loot, no helpful features, nothing. Before 1.14, you could at least get totals of Undying from the Evoker, but now that you can get them from raids instead, there's literally no reason to go to a mansion.
I kind of disagree with that. Like, yeah, you can get totems from raids, but there's a lot of people like me that really don't care about the raid feature and don't even really go to villages. Like, I go to villages probably to loot them and then never again. So I really never see the, like, raid stuff as just a me thing. But usually when I start a raid, I like to complete it. And it is fucking difficult to complete those things. Because they spawn everywhere. And I know you can ring the bells to, like, locate them. But still, sometimes they spawn in caves and it's annoying.
Unless you want this one specific armor trim, but...
Okay. Armor trims are cool.
Let's face it, nobody wants to wear this shit. The Woodland Mansion...
I don't agree with that.
...is just a small part of the wider problem with Minecraft's exploration system. From...
Let's roll that back just a little bit. Hold on. Let's roll that back.
The Woodland Mansion is just a small part of the wider problem with Minecraft's...
Ancient cities, meh. I don't usually go to them. End cities, I don't even use Elytra, so once I beat the Ender Dragon, if I beat the Ender Dragon, I don't even go to these. I don't care. Biomes, I think biomes are cool. I like every biome in the game, to be fair. I don't think there's a single biome that I would walk up to and say, I fucking hate this biome. I wish they never added it. Needs more. Boring as fuck. I don't think the desert's boring. I like the desert. It's pretty funny.
Exploration system. From structures to biomes to those stupid ass desert wells that do absolutely.
I don't hate desert wells. I do mention them as like the worst structure, but it's because they have no loot. They're the only structure with no loot. I think they have like suspicious sand or something, so like you can use the brush on it. So yeah, I think that's okay.
Nothing. There are so many great locations in this game that have just been forgotten about. I remember when I would love to go out and explore, but nowadays it just doesn't feel the same.
There's more reasons to explore now than there was, and like I'm pretty sure you showed like an earlier version of the game, probably like 1.0 to like 1.3 if we're even talking about release versions. Maybe even 1.3. Like, if we're talking about, like, beta or alpha, there was, like, nothing to do in the game. I don't know what you mean.
Then again, since that point, we've survived a worldwide plague, housing prices have more than doubled, and we've all aged 10 years, but come on, why do things feel so different? The point is,
we've all aged 10 years. Dude, I look like I'm still fresh out of high school. Okay, my fresh out of high school was 3 years ago. I can't be talking.
Exploration can be so much more than it is now. Even though there's a ton of problems holding it back, and even though the housing market is about to crash, we can make it live up to its full potential as a core part of the game. This is Minecraft's exploration problem and how to solve it.
I don't really know if Minecraft necessarily has an exploration problem or if it's the fact that people just don't want to explore because, yes, the game is about exploring, but also at the same time, it's about doing what the player wants to do. It's geared towards the player.
Oh, shit.
You can do it, buddy. I believe in you. You're wearing this joke out way too long, buddy.
Let's say you're on an expedition. Climbing harrowing terrain and fighting dangerous mobs, all to reach your final destination.
Dangerous mobs. Wait, well, hold on. Dangerous mobs fighting zombies in diamond armor. No.
City. It's the most dangerous area in the entire game, covered in darkness and crawling with skulk sensors, ready to alert your presence to Minecraft's deadliest enemy, the Warden.
I have a hot take. The Warden is the most overpowered mob, and it's not even close. I'm sorry. I think the Warden is horribly designed in Minecraft. I don't like the design that you're supposed to ignore it or not activate it. At that point, why is it even in the game? That's just my opinion. Like, I know people are going to be like, oh, the Warden is supposed to be like this scary mob that if you activate, it will kill you. I'm sorry, but if you're meant to avoid it, if that's the whole purpose of the mob, I don't really know why it exists. It's way too OP, has too much HP, does too much damage. I don't really like it.
You tread carefully, making sure to stay quiet, when suddenly a skeleton shoots you from behind. The skulk sensors activate, and the Warden erupts out of the ground, ready to destroy you in one fatal blow. You run as fast as you can.
I mean, that's not exactly how the Warden works. You have to activate a Shrieker 3 times, and then it will spawn. If it's your first time encountering it, I believe it has to be the first time, although there might be a timer cooldown for that. Again, I'm not 100% certain on that. Don't quote me.
Looking for anything you can grab before you're forced to escape. And right before the Warden catches you, you spot it. One singular chest. With everything at stake, you race towards the chest, open it, and... You gotta be kidding me, bro. Ancient cities were added.
Okay, I can actually see that being hilarious. Okay. I like that. You gotta be kidding me, bro. Dies.
In the Wild update, also known as Caves and Cliffs Part 3, and despite being added 2 years late,
Caves and Cliffs Part 3. I don't think that's necessarily what they were going for. Although, hot take, again, Mojang has been getting lazier and lazier and lazier with each and every update. I will die on this hill, okay? 1.14 is still an incomplete update. Why? The fleshing table exists, and still there's no player functionality with the block, which they promised all the way back in 2014. So you cannot tell me they're not getting lazier. First of all, that's my first straw. My second straw, Caves and Cliffs was supposed to be one update. They divided it into 2. I don't care if the update's delayed. Just fucking make it good, please. Thank you. After that, the Wild update, kind of mid, to be honest. It's pretty mid. Although I still, before I even continue that whole argument, before I even go any further, actually, I do still believe the best update of Minecraft is the latest update. Even though each and every update has their problems, they're still the best. I mean, I would rather play on version 1.21 than play on version 1.12. Guaranteed. And I will die on that hill, actually. The latest version of the game is always the best version.
they have a lot of things going for them. They're interesting, exciting, and most importantly, dangerous. In an age where Minecraft continues to get easier, ancient cities offer a challenge that you can't find anywhere else. They also have the worst loot in the entire game. To illustrate my point,
I don't think they have the worst loot in the entire game. I mean, there's the desert well that technically has loot. Jungle temples also have like pretty ass loot, I would say. I don't know about you, that's just probably not true. Actually, no, it's definitely not true.
I'm going to read out every single item that can be found in an ancient city. Here we go. Coal, bone, soul torch, potion of regeneration, amethyst, skulk, that one stupid ass music disc that sounds like a broken washing machine. Glowberries, book.
Technically, it doesn't give you the music discs, it gives you fragments of it. So that's technically wrong. But whatever.
Bottle of enchanting, skulk sensor, iron leggings, skulk catalyst, compass, lead, damaged enchanted diamond hoe. Jesus Christ, this sucks. More music.
Actually, the diamond hoe is actually pretty good. For one reason. It can destroy the skulk faster. So it's actually pretty good. And a lot of people like me don't carry hoes. So it's a free hoe. No one even makes these things. Hot take. I don't know. I don't make hoes. Like, if I need to farm, I go looting for hoes. Okay. Maybe you should loot some more bitches on your dick. Alright, moving on.
Discs, name tag, saddle, diamond horse armor, diamond leggings. This would be fine if it wasn't the only type of armor that spawns here. There's literally nothing else. Just pants. Ward armor trim, silence armor trim.
Yeah, but what are the enchantments on the leggings? Swift sneak, maybe? Soul speed? Frostwalker? I don't know. I'm just naming some things that could probably be on leggings. Or boots, for that matter. I mean, it could also be, like, protection or unbreaking. So it's not worthless. Like, it's gotta have something good on it.
And finally, enchanted golden apples, which one?
Are we saying finally on that? Because you're missing, the recovery compass. You're missing Swift Sneak. I think Soul Speed was even in there. I think every type of enchanted book you can even get from here is missing, like Respiration. I think you can get Respiration. I'm not 100% certain on that, on the Respiration or Soul Speed. I do know you can get a recovery compass and Swift Sneak. Swift Sneak spawns in here. I know that for a fact. But I'm not 100% sure on Soul Speed or Respiration or any other enchanted book for that matter.
Would be useful if the Warden didn't already one-shot you in full netherite armor.
This is an over-exaggeration. The Warden does not one-shot you in full netherite. I believe without protection, it 2 shots. With full protection, it 4 shots.
But you're probably asking yourself right now, Jet, how could you have forgotten to talk about the recovery compass? It's the most useful item the ancient city has to offer, allowing you...
That's not true either. I mean, I don't know. I don't see a point to the recovery compass, at least for me. Because I usually don't die late. I mean, I do die late game, but usually it's my own fault because I play on only keep inventory, because keep inventory is more fun than without keep inventory. I'll die on that hill too.
You to easily locate your items when you die. The recovery compass sucks ass. Like that guy said,
yeah,
it points
I
to your
agree.
last death location, which is admittedly a very useful feature. The only problem is it's kept in the ancient city, which we've already established as the most dangerous location in the entire game. If you're able to get it, you're most likely a pretty skilled player, meaning you're not gonna die too often, but the players who do die often aren't experienced enough to traverse through the ancient city, which is where the problem is. Those who can get to the compass don't need it since they're already skilled enough to obtain it, and those who aren't skilled enough to obtain it are the ones who actually need it, but they can't get to it because they're not skilled enough. But if they get skilled enough, they don't need the compass anymore because they're not gonna die, so what's the point of going there at all? Dude.
Well, actually, this issue can be solved easily with multiplayer, where you get this for your friend before they even get on the server. Like, what? Actually, this is a fairly useful item in that case. Simple solution, multiplayer.
It's a Minecraft item. Who cares? I care! They really got to take these guns away from me. Ancient cities are a perfect example of our first exploration issue. Risk versus reward. For any structure to feel balanced, there needs to be an equal level of each. Too much risk and too little reward, and you'll end up with the ancient city.
Talking about risk versus reward, jungle temples? Jungle temples have traps, although they're horribly designed traps. They're not even really that good. They give you, like, nothing super good for your effort. I think they give you, like, gold ingots and redstone and wheat, I think, as, like, the best drops, but I'm not 100% sure. But jungle temples, easily.
Incredibly difficult to navigate, but with no reward for those who do. Too little risk and too much reward, and you'll end up with something like end cities. They're home to some of the most...
I don't really know about that. I don't really know about that, because End City's loot, I think, is like diamonds, iron, enchanted iron armor, enchanted diamond armor, and it's like, I could care less. I mean, it might also have, like, tools and stuff. I know it has tools and stuff. I've looted a couple, but, like, I don't care about that. I don't. It doesn't bother me. By that point, I should have full netherite anyways, so I don't care about any of that stuff. That is, if I want the elytra anyway. I don't really like elytras. I don't use them.
Most powerful items in the game, but only guarded by a bunch of purple cubes. Look at him.
I really only care about the shulker boxes here.
They're not going to do anything. I'm going to save that issue for a different and related video, but as far as the ancient cities go, I think there's a few things we can do to drastically improve them. When creating any structure, you want to ask 3 questions. 1, what challenge should it give the player? 2, what stage of the game should it inhabit? And 3, what reward does it offer? The ancient city already has the challenge part down. I don't think we need to make it any harder. But this...
I don't know. I don't think the warden is hard if you're good at fucking avoiding it. I mean, you can just use wool to avoid it, or swift sneak to avoid it, or... I'm gonna say it. A hoe.
The second question is still up for debate. What stage of the game should it inhabit? When should the average player visit an ancient city? Well, since the warden is probably the most dangerous mob in the entire game, I would argue you should visit it during the late game. Probably some...
I mean, yeah, I would say if I were probably going to get, like, a new player into Minecraft, which I highly doubt I could even possibly do, I would say something about the ancient cities and how you should probably visit it in late game. But I wouldn't say, like, too late. I would say more so, like, having netherite and then maybe getting 2 stacks of wool
sometime after you've defeated the Ender Dragon. So to make sure it's locked to that stage of the game, we're going to introduce the Abyss Explorer map. It gives you the exact location of...
I don't like the wording of locked. I don't think you should lock any features to a specific part of the game.
One of these ancient cities, and just like the other Explorer maps, can be purchased from a cartographer village. But here's the twist. He'll only be able to give you that trade after the Ender Dragon has been defeated. This ensures...
I don't know about that. I do not know about that. I don't agree with that, because this contradicts the Woodland Mansion argument earlier. You can go to a Woodland Mansion whenever you want, and it is, in his words, quote-unquote, hard to navigate. And it has not really that good loot. Okay? So what? Who cares? By locking this behind late game, or a late game trade, which, by the way, you'd still stumble across one, I guess, but for the trade for the Woodland Mansion, that's not how it works. And to me, that feels contradictory, and it promotes less exploration, because there are people that don't beat the Ender Dragon. There are people that don't care to. I like to beat the Ender Dragon, but after I've done a lot. I usually beat the Ender Dragon in full netherite, because at that point, I'm running out of things that I personally would like to do in a survival world. So, there you go. But yeah, I don't like this. This to me seems awful. You should be able to visit the ancient city whenever you want. For new players, I do suggest late game, but I probably wouldn't make them, if that makes sense. So they still have the freedom of playing how they want. So I don't agree with this at all.
That players can only find an ancient city after they beat the dragon, making its place in Minecraft's progression a lot more straightforward. But then again, there's
Minecraft doesn't even have straightforward progression. I skip iron a lot of the time, because you can just loot diamonds out of treasure in shipwrecks, or buried treasure, or blacksmiths, or other structures that can give you diamonds, like not jungle temples, desert temples. I hate jungle temples. I'm kidding. No, I don't.
always the chance that someone just stumbles upon one by accident. So to solve that problem, I came up with a genius idea. We made them a little bit rarer.
Why? That's such a band-aid fix to an issue that isn't an issue. Like, that is a made-up issue where it's like, oh, new players might stumble upon it. Ancient cities. No. No. No, this is such a non-issue that you're just making into an issue to then have a band-aid fix for it. No.
Come up with a better solution, but I've been making this video for 6 months and I just want to be done with it, man. So that's the second one down, but there's still one more question we need to answer. What reward does it offer? Why should I go through all this trouble to find an ancient city? What greater purpose do they serve? Well, let's ask ourselves, what are late game Minecraft players always in need of? That's right. A girlfriend. Experience points. Think about it. The first thing we all do after beating the Ender Dragon is build a hyper-efficient Enderman farm to enchant all our items. An obviously intentional mechanic carefully implemented by the Mojang developers. So to aid us in this noble grind of obtaining unnecessarily powerful armor, we're going to introduce a form of XP storage. Meet the Skulk File. It's crafted with 7 Echo Shards and can hold up to 1,395 experience points, which equates to...
That does actually make sense, because the Skulk that you break with a hoe gives you experience. How that is carefully left out of the video, I don't understand. Why you would leave out the fact that hoes are actually useful in the ancient city, because they can break Skulk. And it gives you experience. But you're going to add a thing that holds experience, that has Skulk in the name. To be fair, I think this would actually be good. I think vanilla Minecraft does need something like this, where you have a form of experience storage. Not because I think experience storage is really cool, I just like the idea of putting it away. I don't know. I don't like seeing in the bottom of my screen that I have like 50 levels of experience. Like, I don't know. And plus, by this point, I'd probably actually not even need it. or need the experience. So yeah.
Exactly 30 levels. By shift right clicking, you can instantly store any amount of XP you want, throw it in a chest, and save it for later. But if you pick it up and drink it, that stored XP is deposited directly back inside.
Like how you have to drink it. That's pretty funny. You could just take out the XP. Where does it go? How does it work? How do you remove it? How do you extract the XP from yourself? If you could just drink it back, that means you're consuming the experience. What? Explain yourself, wizard man.
Of you. Yeah, we're gonna need a better term for that. Not only is this cool as shit, but it also makes sense for lore reasons, since skulk blocks are already capable of storing small amounts of XP. This vial of...
I guess, like, you kill a mob on or nearby a skulk catalyst, and it generates more skulk, but that doesn't prove... Visually, that doesn't prove your point. You'd have to break it with a hoe to prove your point.
Alone gives a whole new reason to visit an ancient city. It offers something that'll be useful to the player for years to come, and at least in my opinion, is a fair reward for the risk of going there. While we're here, I'm gonna tweak just a couple other things about the ancient city. Any enchanted armor can now spawn in chests, not just leggings. I get what they were trying.
Yeah, no, I understand that. I can see that.
To do with the Swift Sneak thing, where it's like, oh, so
he mentioned Swift Sneak. Okay. This is a gripe I had about the one video. They mentioned Swift Sneak, and I believed that this guy didn't mention it at all. He does. Swift Sneak directly deals with the Warden. Directly. And shriekers and sensors, whatever. Directly deals with it. And it is useful for building. I understand there's people that are like, oh, I like building in survival. I don't, personally. I think building in survival is annoying. But there you go. If you like building in survival, yeah, Swift Sneak is very, very helpful. Even redstoning. It's even helpful for redstoning. So, yes, you can use Swift Sneak for redstone. You can use Swift Sneak for building. And even soul speed for building, if you want to build with, like, soul sand and soul soil. Or anything like that. So, yeah, there you go. And he mentioned Swift Sneak.
Swift Sneak is put on leggings, so we only have leggings. Shut up. Okay, just put all the armor pieces there. It makes so much more sense. And we're gonna...
I do actually agree with that. It does make more sense to have all of the armor pieces. I agree with that. That makes sense. It makes more sense to have all of the armor pieces, because who's wearing just leggings? Duh! But yeah, no, I definitely see his point there. And with Swift Sneak, he nullifies a bunch of his points, because he just brought up Swift Sneak previously. Let's go!
Remove the recovery compass from ancient cities, and instead put it in the woodland mansion, which we're also going to make 3 times more common. You're welcome. So, there you go. We've just taken the ancient city from one of the most useless structures in the entire game to one of the most useful. But unfortunately for us, this...
I don't know if it would become the most useful because of the Skulk Vial, armor, recovery compass, needing the explore map. I don't know. I don't really think it's that useful still, because there are still people that would be coming here when they have netherite. So, like me! Like me!
This is just one structure in a sea of problems that we have yet to solve. But first, I have a very special announcement to make. You may have noticed in the last few clips that the items I'm talking about are, you know, actually real. I'm not just talking out of my ass anymore. And that's because I've decided to code them into my very own mod. That's right, I've shipped 10 Taiwanese sweatshop workers directly to my house to code this mod from my basement. It's available to download now on my Patreon.
Yup. All right, let me just say, this is against Minecraft EULA. And I want to also mention the last person that I know of that tried to sell a mod was the dude that made Ore Spawn. And he is a fucking whack job. he's an idiot at best. At best, he's an idiot. At worst, he might be a neo-Nazi. I'm not saying he is. He might be. I'm just saying he might be. He's also a bit cringe and a stupid guy. Or okay, the creator of Orspawn is really stupid. If you want to know more about it, you could look it up. You could look up what happened to the Orspawn guy, the Orspawn mod guy. You could look it up. It is funny, but he is such a whack job. It's not even funny. All right, moving on. Do not sell Minecraft mods. Don't do it.
Which is only $8 a month. Same price as Twitter Blue, with the sweatshop, the developers, to ensure that this is the best mod it can possibly be. So if you find any bugs while playing, don't tell me because I'm not going to fix it. Also, if you don't have any money, I guess...
If you find any bugs, don't tell me. I'm not going to fix it. Bro, you should update the mod to be free.
That's okay too. We're doing a raffle in my Discord next week for a few people to get the mod for free. With that out of the way...
You're doing a raffle in your Discord server for people to get it for free anyways? You shouldn't be selling it in the first place. First of all, don't sell your mods. Don't do it. It's against the Minecraft EULA. I'm not going to say it's a crime because I genuinely don't believe it is. And also, if you do sell it, don't put a raffle up for it to be free. Because that is literally scamming all of the people that bought the mod in the first place. Which also, he mentions that it's the same price as Twitter Blue. Look who's paying for Twitter Blue.
Let's get back to fixing Minecraft's exploit. Alright, you're free. Get out of here.
That was the worst voice acting ever.
What a horrible person.
Okay. No, that's horrible voice acting. You can tell it's him. My friend Colt does a better job.
Time to go take some oil from a Middle Eastern country.
Okay. Alright, buddy.
Minecraft has an incredibly diverse world. It's full of lush greenery, unique animals, and interesting structures, like those stupid goddamn desert wells that just sit there for no reason. But most importantly,
they kind of just exist. And I don't mind that they exist. I think they're cool. With how fundamentally useless they are, they're still cool. Should have a bell on them.
It's full of biomes. Biomes are what piece the Minecraft world together, giving it important variety and making it feel real. The only problem is, you never see them. Before making this video, I started a new survival world just to refresh myself on the single-player experience. I went mining, built a house, you know, all the normal stuff you do in a Minecraft playthrough. But after a few days of playing, I realized something huge. I had stayed in this plains biome for my entire playthrough. No joke, I literally went back and tracked how long I spent in each biome and found these results. 57% of my time was spent in the original plains biome, 38% of my time was spent underground in caves, and this tiny sliver of colors right here is every other biome in the game. In one single biome, I had built my entire base, gathered all of my materials, and set myself up to survive for almost the entire playthrough. However, there is always the chance that I could just be stupid. Jet, were you there on January 6th? Yes. What is that, by the way? So, to make sure my playstyle...
Okay, that's an okay joke. I will accept that joke. Okay. That's hilarious. But that 9 hours of gameplay. Okay, well, I understand. Kind of. If you have only iron in 9 hours, Jesus. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm not a speedrunner. I do like to get diamonds though, pretty early. Why? I like hoarding diamonds.
I wasn't biased in any way. I reran the trial with a few other players and got virtually the same results. They spent the majority of their time in the first biome they spawned into, only leaving it for very short time periods. Sometimes they left to gather specific materials, other times to advance through...
As you do. No, I understand that, because you leave to go get more materials or specific building blocks, you know? It's just the way it works.
The game, but no matter what, they always came straight back to spawn. And when you look at how Minecraft is structured, it's pretty clear why. Almost everything the player needs is found underground. Need ores for armor and tools? Go underground and mine for it. Need an enchant table or lapis? Go underground and mine for it. Need obsidian to get to the nether? Go underground and mine for it. Caves are overflowing with useful items to the player, whereas the surface has pretty much just two things, food and wood, which I already get every morning, so it's not even that.
Okay, buddy.
Since most important items can be found underground, players are obviously going to spend more time there. And if every biome has the same underground, they're never going to leave the one they spawned into, opting instead to make one base at spawn and nothing else.
I like how we made that out of deep slate, and also, like, using the deep slate, like, polished deep slate and then not polished is, like, why? That looks so ugly. Anyway. Moving on. Who built its spawn? Like, I mean, in single player, I guess there's no issue with that, but in multiplayer, who built its spawn? Like, in single player, if you build its spawn, like, okay, fair. I get it. But also, you could build anywhere else. You can pick a better location. Personally, I do enjoy building in plains biomes, but I usually like to build near another biome that I actually really like. Like, a dark oak forest, or I might build near a savanna, or I might build near a taiga. I might even build a snowy plains biome just because I like snow, or I want to change the scenery. Like, but I may spawn in a different biome. I don't like staying near spawn. I like finding a better place to live, usually, in my worlds. So, I don't know about this. I don't know about this one.
This is one of the biggest issues holding Minecraft's exploration back. It's far too...
Also, I feel like this is leading to a point where it's just going to be, basically saying, building houses is a problem in Minecraft. No, it's not. Building a base is not a problem. And if you genuinely believe that, you're kind of stupid. No ifs, ands, or buts. Kind of dumb. You're supposed to build a house. That is something you're supposed to do. How you build it is completely up to you. And if you stay in one house the entire world, that's also up to you. Some people move. Some people make a starter house and then they move out. That's something I do sometimes. I build a starter house, realize I don't like where I live, or I want to change the scenery, so I move out. I don't like seeing the same thing all the time.
Too easy to get everything you need from one specific area. Trees and animals can be found almost anywhere. Every biome spawns the same amount.
Trees can be found almost anywhere, yes. However, the different wood types is what matters here. Underground, that's not entirely true, but we'll get to it when we get to it.
Of ores. When every biome is functionally the same, there's no reason to go.
Every biome is not functionally the same. Out of the biomes you chose, plains spawn very little trees. Deserts do not spawn trees, they spawn cactuses. Jungles spawn a lot of trees. Vastly different biomes in terms of trees alone. Deserts have bunnies in terms of animals. I think jungles can spawn every animal. In terms of like sheep, cows, pigs, I believe they can, but I'm not 100% sure. They also spawn ocelots, which don't give you food. They also spawn melons and cocoa beans. Plains gives you chickens, sheep, cows, and pigs. I know that. And then there's the mesa, or badlands.
Find new ones, resulting in players staying at spawn for their entire playthrough. But don't worry, because I have an amazing idea that can fix all of this. We're going to add underground biomes.
Okay, I'm going to be completely honest. I think the underground needs more biomes. I do agree with that. I agree that the underground needs way more biomes. 100%. I don't disagree with this. I do not disagree with this point. Underground biomes are kind of more needed. We have lush caves, dripstone caves, and the deep dark. Lush caves are pretty. I really like lush caves. I think they're very pretty. I don't really like dripstone caves that much. Like, I appreciate they're in the game, but I don't really like them that much. And then there's the deep dark. The deep dark without an ancient city, I see it as kind of pointless, but I still appreciate that it's in the game.
Fuck was that?
Yeah, we already did that.
Why are you at my house?
We added a few different cave variants, but it didn't work for some reason.
Yeah, because they're all completely useless. Why the hell would anyone want to go out and find a dripstone cave?
I don't necessarily agree with that.
That's a good point, actually. Do you have any other ideas?
Well, you could make different amounts of each ore spawn in certain biomes, and citing players to explore if they need more of a particular resource.
That would be too much work.
Jesus,
Let me just say, they already kind of did that. There's 3 biomes in the game that I know of that already do that. That already distribute ores differently. Dripstone caves, as mentioned earlier, give you more copper. Mountains give you emeralds. The only biome that gives you emerald ore. I don't think mountain is a biome, but mountainous is a biome type. And those can spawn emeralds. Also, mountainous biomes give you more iron and coal because of how iron and coal are distributed. Also, mesas give you more gold. Actually, I think it spawns more gold than iron, and it even spawns gold at iron level. That's not too much work. It's just that they've already done it for select biomes, and it makes the mesa, personally in my opinion, feel more worthwhile going to.
You really do suck at this. Why the hell would that be too much work? Do your employees work more than 30 minutes a day? You are the biggest company in the goddamn world. Figure it out. The Badlands biome. A barren wasteland full of nothing but terracotta and rolling tumbleweeds. Or so it seems. Beneath the surface lies a gold
in the game, bro.
Like, not a figurative gold mine, like an actual just mine of gold. The Badlands is one of only 2 biomes in the game that has...
It's actually 3.
Its own unique ore distribution, generating over 3 times more gold than any other area. The second of these biomes is the mountains, which is the only place you can find emeralds in their ore form. Now, these 2 features aren't inherently very useful. You're not going to be traveling out to a Badlands biome for 5 extra gold ingots. But in concept, it's a very good way of introducing function to certain biomes. Let's say that you need a large amount of coal.
Just to mention again, dripstone caves give you more copper, and mountainous biomes give you emeralds in ore form, more coal, and more iron. So if you want to go mining for coal, go to a fucking mountain.
For a project you're doing and don't want to spend 40,000 years gathering it all. Well, instead of slaving away to strip mine directly underneath your base, you
get a fortune pickaxe.
Could go out and find a desert biome. Deserts would now generate coal much more than other biomes, giving you a convenient place to get bulk amounts of it. This is because deserts are often sites of ancient ocean basins, which when filled by surrounding rivers with sediments containing organic remains, offer just the right conditions for oil and gas to form. Yeah, I studied plate tectonics to find out which Minecraft biome was more likely to have coal. I hate my life. If certain biomes...
You do know that's why we... Okay, I'm not making that joke. He already made that joke earlier in the video. But that, like, that wasn't very hard to understand already. Like, you can just use real life history to know why deserts make more sense to have fuel and coal in terms of Minecraft. Like, you don't have to go on a burn... Fuel is pumping engines just to fucking, you know, study plate tectonics. Or you could just study history, dude.
Biomes had higher levels of certain resources, it would make players want to go out and find them, giving an incentive to explore rather than sit in one place and get all your resources from there. Copper could be more common in oceans because it forms on real-life seafloors. Diamonds could be more common in jungle.
Copper is also more common in dripstone caves already. Also, I don't mind that actually. I do think copper needs to be distributed evenly like other ores. Same with diamonds. Diamonds, fair.
Because rainforests often house precious gemstones, and birch forests could have more iron because they direly need it. They're about as useful as the winners of the last 3 mob votes.
Birch is a good building block. Hot take. All the wood types are good.
If you're curious, here's how I mapped it out for every other biome in the game.
One thing I'm noticing, there's not more distribution for like amethyst. And there's not more for, I wouldn't say emeralds because there's already something that does that, but I'm like brain farting. Like there's more. There's something else. I'm forgetting it. Yeah. Actually, no. I think it's just amethyst I'm thinking of. Yeah. Yeah. It's
into
just
account
amethyst.
balancing,
Okay,
realism, and also just what I felt like fit. But the good thing about this is we don't need to stop at ores either. Certain biomes could spawn more of one type of animal, individual crops could grow faster or slower, mob drops could be more common. There are literally infinite ways to differentiate these biomes, and if Mojang were to add more attributes like this, it would encourage exploration in all stages of the game.
Yes, encouraging exploration in all stages of the game is good and all, but also at the same time, hear me out, having a base is also pretty good. You have a home base, you can store shit in your home base. There's plenty of reason to really not get this mod at all. Don't pay for it, first of all. Just don't. And also, you can explore already in the game. Yes, adding ore distribution for multiple biomes. I think that's a good idea. I don't hate that idea at all. And yes, they could add some of that. All of it? No, I really don't think iron or coal needs to be distributed more unless it's like coal in deserts. Okay, I agree with that one, but really, iron and coal do not need to be more common than they already are. Diamonds, sure, I can actually understand that. Lapis, yes. Redstone, yes, sure. Copper, absolutely. Like, come on, man.
Luckily for us, they kind of already are. In Snapshot 23W31A, a big change was made to how librarian villagers operate. Before the update, you would cycle through each book trade until you found the one you were after, with each trade having an equal chance of appearing. However, after Mojang's changes, each trade was now locked to a certain biome. If you wanted efficiency, you would have to find a villager from a desert biome, and if you needed mending, you would have to get a swamp villager. They literally added diversity employment laws to Minecraft, shit's crazy. On the surface, this seems like a really good change. It forces players to go out and get villagers from all sorts of biomes rather than just set up a full trading hall in the one they spawned into. But that being said, it still has a couple issues. For example, how the hell is someone supposed to know which biomes they need to go to? If a new player were to go and cycle a library...
You could also say the same thing for that biome argument you had earlier with the ore distribution. How the hell is someone supposed to know that? If there's only a few in the game, like, yeah, sure, it's easy. But that argument is literally already broken down. Like, you're nullifying your own points the further this video goes. How the hell is someone supposed to know that a birch forest gives you more iron? How would you know that? It doesn't make any sense, first of all. Like, I guess, like, ocean floors making copper, science, wow. Sure. Okay, sure, but like, iron in a birch forest? Really? Like, I don't know. This makes no sense. It doesn't add up. And it just feels more and more like he's nullifying his own points because, like, how the hell is anyone supposed to know this? How are you supposed to know what biome to go to? You can look it up. Either that, or you can just experience it on your own. Plus, swamp villages don't exist, and they should definitely add those. I'm surprised he didn't talk about that in this video. Maybe he gets to it, but I'm surprised no one mentioned it, if he did. Fellas.
librarian, they're gonna be pretty confused why the only 2 trades they're getting are Smite 4 and Blast Protection. Like, yeah, you can always just look it up, but if we keep adding features that need a wiki to be able to understand on a basic level, we're just gonna end up like Terraria, where you have to go through 6 different web pages just
Not the Terraria slander, bro. No, I don't really like Terraria, so I don't care.
to figure out how to craft the Terrorblade. Is this it? Oh, yeah, of course. Why wouldn't it be that? How could I have forgotten? So here's a
That's a lot of shit.
simple solution. Don't make trades exclusive to certain biomes, simply make them more common in them. Imagine if in that desert idea from earlier, I had made it so that coal could only be found in the desert and nowhere else. If the player can't find a desert biome, or if the only one is extremely far away, it's going to be almost impossible for that player to get any coal.
I like how bro's using a spyglass in this video. You could just download Optifine.
We've suddenly just turned a cool and engaging feature into a very annoying feature. The villager trades have this same problem. If there's no savanna near you, it's impossible to get sharpness. If you can't find a swamp, guess you're gonna have to live without mending. But by
I mean, sharpness? No, you can just fucking enchant for that. Moving on.
making these trades more common in certain biomes rather than exclusive, you get the best of both worlds. Newer players don't need to figure out which biomes have which books because they can still technically get all of them from one area. But if you're having trouble with one or just want the process to go faster, you can go out and find the biomes where they're easier to get. In other words, you don't need to hit the diversity quota, but it's definitely going to help you out. So there you have it. With these small changes, Minecraft's biome system has been completely reworked. Every single biome now offers something useful to the player in both early and late stages of the game. Maybe instead of building one base at spawn, the strategy would be to build multiple outposts across your world. Specific places you would travel.
I'm gonna be honest, I actually don't mind this idea of building multiple outposts. But you can also build one main base and then have multiple outposts. I don't mind the idea. I think that's cool. I think that's very unique. And I don't think a lot of people do it. But, you know, I'm not going to disagree with that. And I think people should probably do that more often. But at the same time, I'm not going to sit here, crawl up this dude's ass and say everything that he's saying is God tier and is like, oh my God, he's speaking so much facts. Like, not really. Like, yeah, it's a neat idea, but not everyone's going to do that. People are still going to have a main base. Just because you're trying to push people in the direction of making outposts doesn't mean people are going to.
In order to harvest the biome's resources or use it to build more efficient farms, all connected via railways.
Yeah, you know what? No. I think I know where he's going with this, and I don't mind that.
Railways. Railways. Hey, Daryl!
Yeah.
When was the last time you used a railway?
I don't know, like westward expansion?
How old are you?
Oh, you mean in Minecraft? I don't know, man. It's been a while.
No. Go back. Okay, were you there for the construction of the Transcontinental Railroad?
Yeah, I was one of the project managers for it, you know? Making sure the workers stayed in line.
Daryl, 1,200 migrant workers died while making that railroad. What the
Okay,
hell,
buddy.
man?
Well, you just hired 10 more from Taiwan, so who's the real villain?
I'm firing this guy.
Okay, buddy. All right. Transportation.
Okay, here's our goal. We need to stop the player from wanting to keep their stuff in one central area. It hinders
There's no problem with someone trying to do that.
exploration and generally just makes the game boring. We instead need
No, it doesn't. Some people have their own playstyles. You might need to figure out yours.
to encourage them to spread out over multiple different locations, giving them more variety in their gameplay and inciting them to explore. We've already done
I think inciting people to explore could also be talking about how good features of the game actually already are, instead of talking negatively about everything. Like, yes, I agree, Woodland Mansions have bad loot. However, well, they don't have entirely bad loot, but they have subpar loot for depending on when you get to them. But on the upside, they're still fun to go to. They still have fun, like, enemies and other stuff. Like, you can still go to a Woodland Mansion. There's no problem with that.
most of the work with the biome tweaks we just added. But there's one more thing stopping them from being fully effective, and that is transportation. How's the player going to get between these areas? Is it going to be on horseback? Is it going to be by minecart? Is it going to be using an 18,000 block per second TNT cannon that uses advanced logarithmic calculations to precisely accelerate an ender pearl at whatever angle you choose? Maybe.
What?
But probably not. More than likely, you're going to be using one of the more basic forms of transport. Things like minecarts, horses, not chest boats, the elytra, nether highways.
Not chest boats. Okay.
The list goes on. A lot of these could be absolute.
By the way, I'm going to be honest with you. I never use nether highways, and I never use elytras. I don't even really use minecarts or horses. Like, at all. Yes, I travel by foot. Yes, I'm slow. How could you tell? I like taking my time. I don't know. I like enjoying the scenery. To me, it's not about speed.
Absolutely perfect for what we need, yet for some reason we never use any of them. It's like my guy Daryl said, we haven't used minecart since the Transcontinental Railroad was finished back in 1869.
Right.
Rest in peace to those 1,200 migrant workers. The point is, transportation has a big problem. And to find out why, we need to go back to the wonderful year of 2010. Minecraft was still in its infancy, and players needed a fast way to
Why are we going back to beta Minecraft?
get around their world. So Notch introduced minecarts. By setting up rail lines in between locations, you would be able to make permanent, reusable transportation wherever you wanted. Yeah, it's a little expensive, but it was the only choice you had. It's
not really expensive when you think about it. You're getting 16 out of one crafting, one crafting recipe. That's not bad.
Only making minecarts one of the most useful items in the entire game. So as long as nothing challenges them for that spot, transportation should live happily ever after. 2011! Minecraft is now in beta, and Notch wanted to have a use for this new hunger mechanic he was.
Minecraft was not in beta in 2011. Well, it was partially, but it wasn't fully always in beta in 2011. There were beta releases in 2010. You cannot tell me the game was in alpha between 2009 to 2011. I don't believe you.
Making. So he invented sprinting. By double tapping forward, you could run over 7 meters per second, almost the exact same speed as minecart. As long as you had a stable food source, unlike many of the 1,200 migrant workers, there was literally no...
Okay, buddy. All right. Also, sprint jumping is faster than sprinting.
Reason to use minecarts anymore. Okay. Maybe it's not that bad. Okay, they're still slightly faster, right? And you probably don't want to run anywhere anyway. So as long as Mojang doesn't add anything faster than minecarts, we should be okay. 2013! The horse update is released, which, as you can probably tell, adds horses, a new mode of transport that's faster than minecarts. Horses can go anywhere, they don't use up food, can jump 4 blocks, travel 14 meters per second, a hell of a lot faster than 8, and saddles are now found in pretty much every chest in the game. Okay. Horses are just infinitely better than minecarts in every single way. That's called the meta, okay? And trust me, Mojang is not gonna add anything crazier than that. 2016! Flying is now a vanilla mechanic. Because that makes sense. At least it's hard to get, right? Jesus Christ. You can see the...
I mean, it's not easy to get, because you still have to, like, traverse the end, which is mostly void. And then you have to, find an end city, which, I'm gonna be honest, I had a fucking multiplayer server world where me and my friends traveled 10,000 blocks for a single ancient city for it to just be one fucking tower with one loot room. We were pretty upset about it, and then only like 200 blocks later, we got an ancient city with an elytra, but we were still 10,200 blocks away from the teleported island. It was annoying. And I was like, fellas, I'm going to try traversing the other way to see how fast we would get to an end city. It took me 20,000 blocks just to get to an end city that way. So, I don't know. I think it was probably poor generation or whatever, but it sucked. It was ass. So, yeah. It took a long time for everyone to get elytras.
issue here. Every time Mojang tries to add a new form of transport, it completely invalidates everything that came before it. Horses made the minecart obsolete, the elytra made horses obsolete, and chest boats made nothing obsolete. I just irrationally hate that. Everyone has a different...
I don't think they're obsolete. You could still definitely use horses. You can still definitely use minecarts. Like, minecarts make roller coasters, which I like roller coasters. I think roller coasters are cool.
Different idea on how they want to fix this problem. Some people think we need to give minecarts a huge speed buff. Others want the elytra to be removed from the game. This guy just said the N-word. Like, it's crazy. But I think there's a way we can solve this problem without using racial slurs. And that's by introducing specialization. In 375 BC, an Athenian philosopher named Plato wrote a book called Republic, which contained the oldest known mention of division of labor. Plato explained that for a society to function efficiently, you needed different people supplying different things. A farmer to harvest crops, a builder to make houses, etc. This is the main idea of specialization. By giving each person one role, it allows them to get much better at it than they would otherwise, leading to faster advancements in technology and a more efficient society. The minecarts in Minecraft, on the other hand, are not very efficient, because Minecraft's transportation system isn't specialized. Boats are able
like I kind of understand where he's going with this, but
to go really fast on water and really fast on land. Horses are able to travel to existing locations, which was previously the minecart's job, and explore new ones. Every new form of transport just does the same thing as the last one, when they should all be doing different things.
Well, minecarts can't really help you explore, can they? They just help you get from point to point, while horses can do both exploring and getting from point to point. Sprinting can be used for exploration, but can also get you from point to point. Same with boats.
Things. This was a really easy concept to explain. I did not need to go back to 300.
So yes, 3 of those are the same, but minecarts can only do one thing.
175 BC. So, using the teachings of Plato, let's go ahead and specialize each form of transportation, starting with the OG and my absolute goat, the minecart. Since rail lines take so long to set up, the minecart's main job should be to transport the player between frequently visited locations. Places they're going to go multiple times. Things like bases, automatic farms, if you live in Omaha, narcotics vendors. So, we're going to need to...
What? Why? Like, okay. I have a big issue with this video. Some of the jokes are just, like, randomly spewed in there, and it's, like, it's not funny. It's just a random, like, why is this in the video? Just get to the fucking point. Like, having some jokes every once in a while, sure, funny. But having this many jokes about, like, random-ass topics, like, narcotics vendors or the migrant workers thing from earlier, like, it's not funny. That's not funny. Like, bro. Also, the fucking racial slur joke, like, oh, this dude just said the N-word. Why include that? Just ignore it. Like, bro, just move on.
To make a few big tweaks. First, we need to buff the speed. Like I said earlier, sprinting is only slightly slower than minecarts. If we want people to use these, they need to be worth the materials they put into it. To do this, we're going to increase their...
They kind of already are. Like, it's not expensive to make them.
Speed by about 1.5 times. This ensures they stay comfortably above sprinting at 12...
Okay. No, you know, 12 is fine. I see that.
Meters per second, while not being too overpowered at, say, twice the original speed, which, in my opinion, is a little bit much for normal rails. Secondly, we need to make them cheaper to set up. These things are wildly expensive to make. It almost explains the ultra-low wages of the 1,200 migrant workers who died building the transcontinental railway.
I just fucking talked about this. It's not funny. It's not. It wasn't funny the first time. It's not funny now.
In my experience, getting the normal rails for a minecart track was never that big of an issue, so for those, we're just going to give a small increase to how many you get per craft. But what?
Why? Why? 16 is a quarter of a stack, my guy. You don't need 24 per craft. You're putting 6 iron ingots and 1 stick into it. I don't know, count how many sticks would be in that fucking thing. I bet you it's more than 1. There's 5 on the texture. 4 on the texture and 2 iron bars on the texture. What do you mean? What do you mean?
Has been an issue for me is getting all the powered rails. The crafting recipe for these is extremely unforgiving. You get
It's not that expensive. Although, if you only get one, like, yes, it's very expensive. But I feel like this is not accurate. How many powered rails do you get from crafting? Get 6. It's a little expensive, yeah, sure. But you're showing only one here when you showed the number of 16. Wait. Does that mean you lied? How many rails do you get from crafting in Minecraft? I should probably specify that. Okay, you do get 16. Then why be this? This is misleading then. He shows the number of the regular rail, but not the powered rail. Which gives you 16, or this gives you 16, the power rail gives you 6. Why? Why be that misleading? Yes, it's one small detail, and I'm kind of like fixating on it. I understand, but that's still misleading. I'm sorry, that's just not true. This is misleading.
6 per craft. 6.
Okay, never mind. He fixed it. He fixed it for me. Okay, never mind. Ignore that. Ignore it. I didn't say anything.
Like the amount of times I've had sex multiplied by 6. Now,
We're just gonna move on. My silence speaks volumes on how I feel about that joke.
could just increase this amount like we did for normal rails, but I have a slightly cooler idea. We're going to replace the gold in the powered rail recipe with copper. Not only does this make it...
I'm not so sure about that. Here's why. Powered rails are not really that expensive. And you can loot them, actually, from abandoned mine shafts. So, same with regular rails, actually. You can loot those in abandoned mine shafts.
a lot cheaper because, let's face it, we all have way more copper than we need these days. But this also gives another use to copper, which it is entire in need of. This thing has like 2 crafting recipes. But we're not just gonna stop there. Let's take the old gold-powered rail recipe and repurpose it for a new, even faster type of rail. Super-powered rails. Super-powered...
Okay.
rails would propel minecarts about 1.5 times more than normal powered rails, offering a higher tier of speed if the player is rich enough to craft them. Hey, Editing Jet here. I actually stole both of these ideas from a YouTube comment, but...
Alright. Yup. Alright.
I have more subs than him, so I'm gonna get all the credit. Not only do these changes make it easier for early...
That is really scummy. Like, even if that's a joke, that's still like... no. Don't do that. Don't say that. Just say, hey, I got it from this comment, credit to this guy, and not be like, but I have more subs, so I get all the credit. No, that's not funny.
Early game players to set up minecart rails, but it also makes minecarts viable for later game players, since with the higher minecart speed as well as the superpowered rails, you're going to be moving at about 18 meters per second, which looks something like this. Holy shit. Oh my god. Going faster than O.J. Simpson's Ford Bronco. So, there we go.
What?
Minecart fixed.
Okay.
Kinda. There's still something else in our way, and that is, of course, horses.
Not
As we
really,
said
they're
earlier,
slower.
horses are pretty much just minecarts, but better. They're faster, easier to get, all-terrain, can jump.
Well, if we're talking about... Okay, hold on. If we're talking about the buffs that you just gave to the minecart would be faster. And also... horses would be built more for exploring, and the minecart is to get from location to location.
Minecarts can't do that. A Toyota Tundra can't do that. The problem is, if we strip horses of any of these qualities, they kinda lose their original purpose, which is to explore new areas. Horses should be the go-to transport method when planning an adventure, but they shouldn't be used to travel between existing areas. That's the minecart's job. So we have a very interesting problem here. We need to find a way to make horses good for exploring, but bad for traveling, which sucks, because those are like the same exact fucking thing. But luckily for you,
Yeah, they are. So you just don't change them. You don't change the horses. They're slower than minecarts. So then it's like, you think about it. Okay, my horse is slower than a minecart. I'm using the minecart to go from place to place that I already built and exist in. This isn't even an issue in regular game because, fuck it, we're making it an issue. Okay, so let's take the horse that's considerably slower, and we just use it for exploring. Who cares? There you go. That issue is already solved for you. You've buffed minecarts that can only get from place to place, so horses just explore. There's no need to change them. They're fine.
you guys, I'm the second coming of Jesus Christ, so
No, you're not.
I know exactly how.
First of all, I don't even believe, like... Okay. This is going to be religious me talking here. I don't have a religion. I genuinely do not believe Jesus Christ even existed. However, if he did exist, he's not white. Sorry. Sorry, fellas. Jesus isn't white. He was born in the Middle East. I believe the Middle East. If not the Middle East, I think it was maybe Italy. It's either Middle East or Italy. I'm not looking it up because I don't care enough.
How to solve this problem. What if we gave horses a stamina bar? As you ride the horse, the bar will slowly decrease until it reaches the end, at which point your steed will suddenly get a lot slower, forcing you to let it rest and recharge. This will make it slightly more annoying to use when traveling, since you wouldn't want to keep stopping to let your horse rest. But in theory, it wouldn't affect you while exploring, since you're frequently getting off your horse to collect materials or loot the structures you find, giving it enough time to rest and be ready to ride when you come back. And before
I'm not so sure about that.
you ask, yes, I made sure the cooldown was just long enough for your horse to travel about 8 miles away from where you left him. So there we go. Minecarts and horses fixed. Almost. We're like almost there.
I don't know about that. That hinders exploration, because what if you want to go further? What if you want to find a biome you haven't seen yet? What if you want a mushroom island? Okay,
so
moving
close.
on.
There's just one last thing we need to take care of, and that is ice boat highways. Because Jesus Christ, these things are horrible. By pairing a boat with a
I don't care.
trail of solid ice, you're able to achieve ungodly speeds. Remember those minecart changes we made earlier? Well, with the superpowered rails, as well as the general speed boost, you'll be going at a max speed of about 40 miles an hour. Ice boat roads are 170. Not to mention that gathering a ton of ice is infinitely easier than gathering a ton of rails. So if you think that this is in any way fair or balanced, please unsubscribe from my YouTube channel and block me on Twitter, because I
don't necessarily think it's balanced, but I also at the same time think it's balanced because you have to do math in order to fucking make a nether portal link setup anyways. To like go from point to point, you still have to figure out like how far am I supposed to make this? If you have a pre-planned spot in the overworld, that is. If you don't, then yeah, it's not that hard. Just fucking go 1,000 blocks out and you'll be fine. But also at the same time, my goofy ass never made nether boat highways, and I don't care to. So I'm not gonna like I'm not gonna make another highway. I don't like, that's a me personally thing. Like, I know people do, I know people want to. That's fine. Let them. So yeah, moving on.
I do not want you here. Now, we could just make boats slower on ice, which we are going to do, but I wanted something a little more symbolic. Something that would shake every ice boat lover to their core. Hang on, you'd say you're an ice boat racer, right?
Yeah, I'm racist.
That's not what I said.
Oh,
okay, just come through the portal. I got something for you. Come over here. I set up this beautiful ice boat track just for you, Aeon.
In the nether?
In the nether. Don't worry about why it's in the nether. Just get in the boat, go on your ice boat track, have some fun. You've earned it, man.
I'm in my natural habitat.
You're in your natural habitat? That's good. Just keep going. Keep going. You're good. You got it.
Yo, this track sucks.
Yep. No, it's great.
What the hell? What the hell?
Ice was never supposed to exist in the nether, dumbass.
What the hell?
Ice was never supposed to exist. It melts.
This is so stupid.
I agree with the other guy. That's
now,
really dumb. I don't care.
Minecarts are fully balanced. You see how much work that was? God damn. I'm just gonna go and make videos on my...
That's not even an issue. Like, I don't know. Again, let people do what they want to do. Thank you.
My live channel. Now, the thing I've neglected to mention throughout all of this is the Elytra. It's kind of like the final boss of the transportation issue because it does absolutely everything. It is so outrageously useful that it's probably more worth it to speedrun the entire game and get it first than spend any time getting other forms of transport. So,
if you speedrun the game just to get an Elytra, you're kind of weird. That's my opinion. Like, I don't like Elytras, really. And you still have to spend time getting rockets to even use them as well. So they still have, like, setup for them to be, like, super really good. And I think their durability is, like, 100 or something. They're not that great. I don't think they have a lot of durability, and they're kind of, like, mid. At least to me. As my style, I don't really like Elytras.
So, how do we fix this? Well, if we nerf it, everyone just throws a fit on Twitter. Mojang already tried that. So our only option is making it harder to obtain. For now, I'm just going to make the chances of finding an end ship 3 times less. But we'll definitely come back to this in a later video because that is a lazy solution that I wrote in the script 15 minutes ago just so that I can be done with this video, man. So,
you could call that a lazy solution for the whole, like, ancient city being 2 times rarer as well. Because it is. Like, I know I'm flipping all the way back to a point made way, way earlier in the video, but I'm true. That's just a lazy Band-Aid fix for a problem that isn't really a problem. Elytras should be something you get in late game. Like, and if you speedrun the game just to get Elytras, like, that's kind of just cringe. Like, I don't know. If it's a single-player world, let people do what they want. If it's a multiplayer world, maybe I'd understand, like, saying, hey, let's not speedrun the game, but people are going to play how they want to play. Leave them be.
There we go. Every mode of transport has a different specific use that players can use to connect their world. We have, in my opinion, fixed transportation, and honestly, exploration as a whole. Throughout this video, we've done a lot of things. From structures to biomes to... I forgot to do anything with the desert wells. We have true...
Which is fine, because they already have functionality with the archaeology, which you've failed to mention. By the way, I don't know where it was in the video. Maybe I just didn't pick up on it. But I know there's a point where he talks about, like, how useless copper is. Copper is arguably useless for people that don't like to build in survival or don't like to redstone in survival, which is me. I don't like to build in survival, and I don't like to redstone in survival. I don't like redstone in general, so I'm not even going to continue on that point. But I like to build in creative only. And in survival, I hate building. It's very annoying. So, copper to me in survival has no use at all, really, other than the spyglass and a brush. The lightning rod, I don't know what I'd use it for. Maybe like to stop lightning from striking my farms or whatever, but really I don't need that. Realistically. I can see where that could come in handy though. So, meh, the lightning rod is at least C tier, and the brush and the spyglass are B tier. Especially since I said earlier in the video, like, oh, just download Optifine instead of using the spyglass. I don't like Optifine, personally, that's just me. So, actually, yes, use the spyglass. It's pretty cool. And for the brush, I don't really care about archaeology, but at least in Minecraft, I do like archaeology in real life. I actually bought an archaeology book, and it's really good. But, yeah, I don't care for archaeology in Minecraft, and the brush is kind of mid, but whatever. And I do agree that copper needs more crafting recipes, but also, you know what else needs more crafting recipes that would be useful for players like me and possibly this guy as well, that don't like building in survival, don't like transportation, or not transportation, don't like redstone in survival, right? You don't like building or redstone in survival. Amethyst needs more crafting recipes. I mean, again, copper as well. Copper needs more crafting recipes. Amethyst needs more crafting recipes. I would say even emeralds. Like emeralds, copper, amethyst, and lapis. They need more. Yes, they have armor trims. You can put all of those on armor trims. Yes. You can use redstone for obviously, or not redstone. I didn't even mention redstone. You can use like emeralds for trading with villagers. You can use lapis for enchanting. You can use all of them for armor trims. You can use emeralds for trading. Like, but then like amethyst and copper really don't have much. I mean, copper is good for redstoning, so if you do like redstoning, like, it has some stuff for redstone on the right side, and copper has a lot of building blocks. Amethyst has, I believe, only the block of amethyst. I'm not 100% certain on what it has, but I'm pretty sure it helps craft a spyglass, and I think it also has the amethyst block and the amethyst shards, which, meh. They're okay. But yeah, I don't really know. He could have mentioned like amethyst, emeralds, and lapis needing more, but he mentioned copper specifically. I don't know. Like, copper has the most, arguably, out of any of those things. And he mentions just copper. So, yeah. Also, if you're wondering why I'm, like, talking quieter as opposed to, like, the beginning of this video, my throat's getting dry because I woke up, like, an hour ago. I've only had 1 cup of coffee. I'm starting to pain my throat with this shit, but I got this video is like literally an hour and 26 minutes long. And I'm like, yeah, I woke up an hour ago. I woke up and chose violence today.
Truly improved exploration far beyond what it was before. But there's something I've been avoiding talking about. Something I've been carefully treading around over the course of this video. And it is single-handedly the reason why Minecraft can never and will never be a true exploration game. The 1,200 migrant workers.
Okay. Alright, buddy. Stop it. Also, yes, this game is not built on exploration only. It's built on sandbox. It's built on doing what you, the player, want to do. It is built on creativity and sandbox. Yes, it has survival elements. Yes, it has exploration. It has a lot in it. But you have to understand people are going to do what they want to do. Regardless of what mod you make, people do what they want to do. The base game of Minecraft is still the same regardless of what mods you add, regardless of what you want to do in Minecraft. You can do anything you want in Minecraft. Stop it. Multiplayer.
In January of last year, Mojang released a snapshot that made a big change to how netherite is acquired. They introduced a new item called the nether.
What did that say? I want to read that actually. Hold on.
Snapshot that made a big change to how netherite.
Tuesday is the new Wednesday. Did you know, first of all, who the fuck starts a Minecraft snapshot like that? Corny ass bitches, I swear to fucking God. Anyway, we broke the entire fucking game.
Is acquired. They introduced a new item called the netherite upgrade template. Now, in addition to needing your previous diamond equipment, you would also need an upgrade template to craft netherite. But here's the kicker. It can only be found in Bastion remnants. This at first seems great. It's the first time exploring something has been mandatory for progression since the addition of the stronghold over...
To be fair, you don't even need to get netherite. Diamond is still pretty fucking good. Like... I'm sorry. This whole point is already, like, invalid by the fact you don't need netherite at all. Like...
Over 10 years ago. It requires the player to visit a dangerous area.
Also, that's not necessarily true. Like, if you're gonna put... Okay. Hold on. We're going back in time again. If we go back in time, if you wanted to put ancient cities locked behind late game, that would make exploration, or a part of exploration, locked behind, you know, progression, technically, or a specific type of progression, which is kind of enforced by the fact that you have to kill the Ender Dragon in the first place, but also at the same time, you can still go to the end without netherite. You can still beat... You could beat the Ender Dragon with iron armor if you fucking felt like it. You can beat the Ender Dragon without armor if you felt like it. You could beat it with wooden tools because you feel like it. I don't understand. Like, I'm sorry. I don't really fully... Like, it's not anything to do with progression, really. You could just choose your own progression path to get to netherite. Technically, you can get to the nether with stone tools as long as you have a bucket and a lava pool. So, like, I don't even agree with this. And you can get, like, you can get netherite in the chest, probably not in ingot form. Ugh. You probably can't get it in ingot form, but, like, yeah, you can easily get netherite.
While reward, and is overall a really great concept. In single player. Let's say you play on a fairly large server, one that already has all the bastions looted. How are you supposed to obtain netherite? Yeah, they're craftable, but you need one in the first place in order to make another. If no one's willing to let you borrow theirs, netherite is impossible to obtain. This is why exploration cannot be mandatory. As soon as you lock pivotal items behind biomes or structures, it runs the risk of harming the multiplayer experience. Not to mention the dozens of different playstyles that exist within it. A builder...
Okay, now you're going to talk about playstyles. So now your entire video, because we're getting to this point of playstyles, is entirely null and void. And here's why. People will play the way they fucking want to play. That is the entire problem with this video. And that's how it all leads up in the end, is people will play how they want to play. If people choose to buy your mod because they get brainwashed by your fucking misleading and lying ass, like, I'm sorry. It's just not how it works. Like, this entire video doesn't need to exist because people will play the game how they want to play the game. I have a way I prefer to play. And yes, a lot of people don't agree with it. And a lot of people are like, ugh! Yeah, I don't like building or redstoning in survival. I hate automation in Minecraft. I think automation kind of is a problem in itself. Like, for me as a player by myself, I don't like automation. I think it removes things you can do from the game. Absolutely. But that's for me. I like to manually farm. I like to manually do things on my own, and I don't like to have machinery to help me do that. Sure. I don't stop people from playing that way. If you want to play that way, that's entirely on you. You can play how you want. I don't care. Play the game how you feel like playing the game. Okay? It's Minecraft. Play it the way you want to play it. We've gotten to play styles. Let's talk about it.
Doesn't want to be forced to fight the warden. They just want to build their house and be a little pussy. So for as...
Builders are very important in Minecraft. And as you stated earlier in the video, people need a specialized role. So if you have a multiplayer server, you can just have someone build everything. You can have someone have a specialized role in building. You have someone be specialized in farming. And yes, I know he used that point for transportation, which didn't even make sense in the first place. I don't know what you want me to say about that.
As long as it supports multiplayer and caters to different playstyles, Minecraft cannot and will not be a true exploration game.
And he's not entirely wrong about that.
Maybe it doesn't have to be. If you look back on every feature I've suggested in this video, not a single one is necessary for the player to complete. You can get by just fine without sculk files. You don't need to visit a desert to get coal. Exploration was never meant to be the focus of Minecraft. It's just one of the many elements that makes the game what it is. And in my opinion, we've done a pretty damn good job at improving it. Again, the mod containing all of the features talked about in this video can...
Fuck your mod, dude. I don't know if he has any more points to say. I really don't think so. So I'm going to end it here. But I just want to say I agreed with very little in this video, I think. And it kind of is almost as bad as everyone made it. But there were things left out by other people that I feel like a full reaction video is important for. Like, in the one video I saw, they didn't mention that he mentioned Swift Sneak, which he did. But, again, that breaks down his own points, and I get why you might leave it out for, like, argument's sake, but at the same time, as the video progresses, it's like it gets farther and farther from the point of exploration, and it gets closer and closer to the point of making bases an issue. It makes housing an issue. It makes transportation an issue when transportation's not really an issue. It makes a bunch of things an issue that isn't an issue. And it's like, at the very end, he talks about playstyles. And it's like, yes, people will play the game how they want to play the game. That makes perfect sense. I don't know why someone would be confused on that. I enjoy playing Minecraft the way I play Minecraft. And I let other people play the game exactly how they want. I don't see a problem with it. I see nothing wrong with it. Play Minecraft the way you enjoy Minecraft. If you don't enjoy it in a specific way or a specific format, you don't gotta play it. Simple as that. Well, this video is super long. It's a bit ranty. Yeah, I don't really have much else to say. I'm not gonna edit this video down. I think it would be dishonest too, because I would probably just cut out a lot of the fluff or where I'm not really talking about his points or anything like that. I mean, I don't care. Like, I'm just saying his video is structured in a way where he's trying to talk about exploration, but it doesn't feel like he's solely talking about exploration. It feels like he's going on to side tangents about issues that he thinks are in the game that really aren't. Like, elytras are not a problem. I don't personally use them, but I know people do. And if you use one, you're not a part of a problem. That's not an issue. Use an elytra if you want to use an elytra. That's the problem with this video, is that it makes specific player playstyles an issue that aren't issues at all. And you could still go exploring and have just as much fun with those playstyles. I don't understand what he is really trying to convey with this video. Other than saying things like, loot tables are bad. And it's like, yeah, some of them are, but that's just how loot tables in most games are. They're not great. Like, it's not a game based on looting. It's a game based on crafting and mining and being a sandbox game. That's the point of the game, of Minecraft. It's a sandbox game. It's based on creativity. It's based on what you want to do as the player. Hell, there's an entire creative mode. I mean, you could have built a map in Minecraft that was like 1,000 blocks wide that had everything you wanted in it. Or maybe even 10,000 blocks wide that had everything you wanted in it. And it would fix the game to you, but people would see it as an issue. Like, do you see where I'm coming from with that? Like, people would have issues with this video, and people have had issues with this video. I'm going to talk about, like, the non-issues, like, in the video, specifically, in my opinion, like, selling the mod. That's not a huge point to me. Like, yes, I don't think you should sell the mod because it's against the Minecraft EULA, but also at the same time, I don't care enough because it's like the mod wouldn't even be good anyways for certain players. And for a lot of players, it wouldn't be good because it hinders a lot of your own creativity. Yes, you don't have to use the mod, but at that point, why download it? Or you don't have to do a lot in the mod. Again, why download it? It's like my point of I don't like tech mods in Minecraft. Why would I put it in my game? Like, I wouldn't play with applied energistics. I wouldn't play with immersive engineering. The only one that I ever really use is Mechanism because it has a mod attached to it called Mechanism Tools. I like it. I like Mechanism Tools. I like the tools that are attached to the ores that the mod gives you. To fix my own issue, I had a mod pack with amethyst equipment, bone equipment, obsidian equipment, and copper equipment. So you could have, like, copper armor and tools. You could have obsidian armor and tools. You could have a bunch of other stuff. And it fixed an issue for me. But that was a specialized thing that fixed issues for me. Bone really didn't need the tools, but I thought it was interesting, so I added it. Same with obsidian, but still, it's another thing of it fixes things that I don't like and that I would perceive as an issue that aren't really issues for a lot of people. A lot of people don't care that there's no copper equipment. A lot of people don't care that there's no emerald equipment. A lot of people don't care that there's no amethyst equipment. A lot of people just don't care because they don't see that aspect of Minecraft in that way because they don't want to play that way. That's the problem with this video, is it makes things an issue that aren't issues to other people. Like copper. Copper's not an issue to builders in redstone. People will use it regardless. And I've used amethyst in builds before. I made an amethyst shrine with budding amethyst and amethyst in creative mode because I thought it would be cool to look. And then I added purple and magenta stained glass so it looked like it was radiating. You know, like it had an aura to it. And it was pretty cool. Like, but again, you don't have to do any of that. Like, if you're not a builder, you don't have to care for that. And I'm not a builder in survival mode. I like building in creative. I don't like survival building. It's annoying. Like I've said multiple times in this video. So, all in all, if you find a problem with the game, you can fix it yourself with mods that already exist. You don't have to make a mod and then, like, when you make this mod, you're like, oh, I need to fix this issue. I need to fix this issue. I need to fix that issue. You don't need to fix any issues. There's no issues to be fixed here. You're just making shit up and then calling it an issue. Or not necessarily making it up, but you're taking a thing in Minecraft and being like, this is an issue because of this reason. Like nether highways. Who cares? Let people build nether highways if they want to build a nether highway. Who cares? Nobody. You're the only one that does. And it's stupid. Like, just let people play how they want to play. Yes, you can make your own points about why exploration is bad if we're talking about the base game and not playstyles. But a lot of points in here can be boiled down to, I don't like this playstyle. Like the whole staying in spawn. You don't like that playstyle of having a base, but you like the playstyle of having multiple outposts that you need to travel between. That's fine. You can like that. Do that in the base game without your mod. You can do that. It's still possible. Oh, but then it has the problem of the transportation. Who cares? Then get a elytra, get a horse, or use those systems that are already in the game that you have an issue with. Who cares? I don't see an issue. I don't see a problem. The only thing that I see that's an actual problem with this video is the fact that it strays so far off the point of exploration that it gets to things like transportation, and this whole video is downright exploitation of people that can't really buy things like this. You know, like, I don't have the money to go subscribe to a Patreon to get this mod if I wanted it. I'd have to get it for free. And even then, it's by a shady dude that I really don't trust, especially with his non-issues, his points of non-issues. And I don't want to attack him as a person directly. Of course, that's not my point. My point is this. He has a playstyle, and he made a mod for it. That's fine. You know what? He can do that. Absolutely. And yes, selling the mod is an issue, but to me, it's not that prevalent. It's not the main point of my issue with the video. If he never made a video, right, and he just made a mod, and he publicly posted it for free saying this fixes issues, in my opinion, I think no one would disagree with that. I don't think anyone would disagree with that. But a lot of people are disagreeing with the fact that he made a video. He made a mod. He then, after making said mod, decided to sell it. I think that's the issue people have. People have an issue that it's a video that makes up problems that then he fixes with a mod, which didn't really need to happen, and then he sells the mod. I think that's people's main issue with this video. And I have an issue with the video, but it's not necessarily the selling of the mod. I could care less. I mean, I could just care less. And I mean, yes, it's against the EULA, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. There's a lot of things that happen that are against the EULA, like pay-to-win Minecraft servers. Bet you didn't know that was against the EULA. Well, it is. And you should look into it. But, yeah. I think that's about it. I think I've talked about this whole point, this whole video, well long enough. And I just want to let people know, no hate to this guy. Don't go hate on this guy. It's not the point of this video. If you want to say anything hateful to this guy, you're a part of the problem of being overly negative online in the first place. But also, I'm going to be completely honest. His video was at least entertaining. And even though he's selling a mod, which, again, a lot of people are going to talk about it, at least he's trying to be entertaining. He tries to put in jokes in the video. And he tries to make points that kind of fall flat, but at least he's trying to make a point and actually trying to have people understand his side and understand what he's trying to go for here. And that's better. That's better than just saying this kind of playstyle is cringe. This kind of person is stupid. Like, yes, he makes dumb points, but I don't think him himself is a stupid person. Clearly, he had a point to make in this video, and I think he made it clear that he thinks that Minecraft's exploration is bad. Same with transportation and other stuff. And to be fair, he didn't make a big issue out of multiplayer like I thought he would. When I saw the multiplayer thing, I was like, oh no, he's going to make an issue out of multiplayer. He didn't. That's fine. You know, I think he made a pretty decent video here. And I think a lot of the hate that this guy gets is kind of unwarranted. I think it's kind of bullshit. Like, yeah, selling a mod, bad. Whatever. That is a bad thing. But a lot of the hate this guy is getting from, like, a lot of people just being, like, shitting on him or whatever, I don't understand it. I don't get it. I've seen a lot of videos, but I didn't watch a lot of them. I only watched one, actually. So I could be wrong about people shitting on him as well, but I might look into more people's videos about his video because I don't see a lot of issues with it. I do disagree on a lot of things, but I wouldn't say I have like an actual genuine issue with it. So, yeah, that's about it. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.